Hello all, welcome back to Sri Sai Tech Edu YouTube channel, Read Lead Success. I am dealing with the subject Research and Publication Ethics under Module 2 Scientific Conduct. I have already uploaded the first topic in my channel. If you have missed out, please do watch. Even Module 1 videos are also available. And in this video, I am going to do the topic Intellectual Honesty and Research Integrity. I am going to discuss this second topic. Intellectual honesty. What is intellectual honesty? Researchers have a moral duty to be honest. It is one of the ethical principles, right? We should be honest whatever we are doing. This duty is especially important when we share ideas that can inform or persuade others. Intellectual honesty is honesty in the acquisition, analysis and transmission of ideas. The ideas, whatever you have, it should be honest, and the data, the methods, procedures and whatever it is should be your own work. A person is being intellectually honest when he or she, knowing the truth, states the truth. If he is knowing the truth, he should state the truth. Then he is honest. Okay. Intellectual honesty is an applied method of problem solving, characterized by an unbiased, honest attitude which can be demonstrated in a number of different ways, including what is intellectual honesty? It is the applied method of problem solving, characterized by an unbiased, honest attitude, which can be demonstrated in a number of different ways, including ensuring support for chosen ideologies, does not interfere with the pursuit of truth. Relevant facts and information are purposefully omitted even when such things may contradict one's hypothesis. Facts are presented in an unbiased manner and not twisted to give misleading impressions or to support one view over another. References or earlier work are acknowledged where possible and plagiarism is avoided. These are the 4 things which will include. Understanding intellectual honesty. Intellectual honesty refers to disposition that refuses to gain an unfair advantage, engage in laziness or exaggerate in communication. It is disposition that ensures truthfulness and honors the integrity of the information. Intellectual honesty is often used in situations with some level of thinking sophistication. The concept of intellectual property. The intellectual property is a vague concept and it can spread, proliferate and change as knowledge. Intellectual honesty is demonstrated when one respects the ownership of ideas or knowledge. Aspects of intellectual honesty. What are the aspects of intellectual honesty? Involves meticulously recording where ideas come from and accurately explaining the study's approach, analysis and outcomes. Plagiarism. Plagiarism involves reproducing numbers, tables or photographs without explicit permission from the author or copy holder. Plagiarism as a whole, I'll explain that you should never plagiarize the things. Like you should not copy paste the same thing, the phrases, sentences, paragraphs, tables. Whenever if it is placed also, we need to cite it properly that it is taken from that paper and it is their work. So then the plagiarism will not be happen. So it is also permitted to publish a paper based on data from previously presented study, but it should not plagiarize the things. Your own method should not be plagiarized by the other method. Okay, the same idea you should never copy. Intellectual honesty at the individual level. Research should be based on originality and innovation, right? Accuracy in representing contributions, protect identity of respondent, a due acknowledgement of web-based resources, not to plagiarize. It is at the individual level, okay? Citing all related papers including those submitted but not accepted. It is submitted but not accepted. Then revealing conflict of interest or potential ones. Avoid duplicate publication. Never do duplicate publication. Avoid guest, ghost and gift authorship. Adopt best practices recommended by COPE. Submit encouraging behavior. About this scope we are going to study in the next module later. So COPE is nothing but Committee on Publication Ethics. So you should adopt the best practices recommended by the Committee on Publication Ethics so that you will not be in the situation where you will get plagiarized, or the rules and regulations will be so clear so that if you follow it, your paper is correct and fine, it can be published properly. So respect intellectual property, Be honest, objective while submission. All communication between author and journal should be treated as confidential. Okay. At the publisher level, adherence to ethical practices, like even publisher also should have ethical practices, reveal conflicts of interest, treat all information in article as confidential, be vigilant in spotting ethical misconduct. Motive is building better society, not commercial purpose. It should not be every time the commercial purpose, like they are getting money, let it be. Avoid predatory or bogus journals. It should be not predatory journals. Good level of journals should be present, and it should not steal the data or something like that. Next, the topic we have is research integrity. Research integrity may be defined as active adherence to the ethical principles and professional standards essential for the responsible practice of research. Research integrity means what? May be defined as the active adherence to the ethical principles. We need to be active to the ethical principles and professional standards essential for the responsible practice of research. By active adherence, we mean adoption of the principles. We need to adopt principles and practices as a personal credo, not simply accepting them as impositions by rule makers. By ethical principles, we mean honesty, trustworthiness, and high regard for the scientific record. The integrity of research depends on honesty and trust. Okay, research integrity includes what? Use of honest and verifiable methods in proposing, performing, and evaluating research. Reporting research results with particular attention to rules, regulations, and guidelines. Following commonly accepted professional codes and or norms. Research integrity means conducting research in according to the highest professional and ethical standards so that the results are trustworthy. It concerns the behavior of researchers at all stages of research life cycle, including declaring competing interests, data collection management, using appropriate methodology, drawing conclusions from the results, writing up research findings. Research integrity can be confused with research ethics, okay, and publishing ethics. Although these terms are connected, they are different. They all are connected, but they are different. So research ethics is specifically considered with the ethical issues, only the ethical issues, which may arise when conducting research involving animals or human subjects. For individuals, research integrity is an aspect of moral character and experience. It involves above all commitment to intellectual honesty and personal responsibility for one's action and to a range of practices that characterize responsible research conduct. These practices include integrity at individual level. When we see integrity at individual level, honesty, we should be honest, truthful, and transparent to our findings. Objectivity, we should have a correct objective. We need to avoid bias. Same like research ethical principles. When transparency, you should be transparent and clear about your research method, material, procedures to verify the findings. Then we need to be transparent about conflict of interest, source of funding, potential biases that may influence the research. Then accountability, taking responsibility for one's actions and decisions throughout the research process. We need to take actions and decisions throughout the research process. Accountability for the accuracy, integrity of their work, and should address any errors or discrepancies promptly and transparently. Responsible conduct. We should be responsible while conducting a research. It can be like intellectual property rights, confidentiality, privacy related to subjects or animals. Respect for participants. We need to give the respect to the participants in terms of dignity, respect, and fairness. Citing sources properly. Whichever sources you have taken data, whichever it is required to your research, you need to cite properly. Then we will see the integrity at institution level. Policy development, developing and implementing comprehensive policies and guidelines on research integrity. Training and education. So training and education is nothing but we need to train and education programs on research ethics and integrity to researchers, faculty, students, and staff. So policy development and training and education. Next we have compliance and oversight. Compliance and oversight is nothing but establishing mechanisms for monitoring and ensuring compliance with ethical standards and regulatory requirements in research, promotion of open science, encouraging open and transparent research practices and data sharing, pre-registration studies, publication of research protocols, reproducibility and integrity enhancing. Investigation and response to misconduct. Implementing procedures for handling allegations of research misconduct, including plagiarism, fabrication, falsification, or other breaches of research integrity. Research support services. Providing support services and resources to assist researchers is conducting ethical and high quality research. Promotion of ethical culture. We need to promote the ethical culture, institution level, cultivating a culture of integrity, professionalism and ethical behavior within the institution by promoting ethical leadership, fostering open communication and recognizing and rewarding research excellence that upholds ethical standards. So this completes the second topic. With new topic, I'll do a next video. For now, I'll stop it. Thank you from Sri Sai Tech Edu YouTube channel. Read, lead, success. Keep reading.